Welcome to Story Mode. I'm Coco and I'm gonna be your storyteller. Now every game tells a story in its own way, but the best stories come from the player interaction in those games, especially in the online games. So, what kind of a story shall we tell today? Well, today we gonna be talking about my first baby steps in World of Warcraft. In the year of our Lord and Savior Gul'dan, or whatever you praise, it was 2008. It was summer 2008, late TBC. So let's establish a backstory first. Now, I always played games. Not as much as these days, but you know, I always played games, always enjoyed them. And of course I knew of World of Warcraft before, but it wasn't really something that really interested me, just because you had to pay for it. And I never bought a game before. I played a lot of games, never bought one. Never even got one for, you know, that someone else bought for me. No. The piracy it was. The piracy, yes. Everything I got was pirated, basically. There was no consequences to piracy and the games were widely available on the internet. So why wouldn't you pirate them, right? That's the world we lived in back in the day. So yeah, but I don't know, something changed in the year 2008 and I kind of wanted to play it. Now, if you listen to my previous story, you know about Axie, who is now my ex-girlfriend, and back then it was my girlfriend. We only started dating a couple months before I tried WoW for the first time, and by the time I did, we already cheated on each other both, although we didn't tell each other yet. You know, just a little bit of backstory so you know there's, you know, things and stuff going on. So yes, as I said, piracy was my thing, and I was very active in this one forum where we did game reviews and previews and, you know, talk about all that kind of stuff. I did a bunch of reviews as well, and you know, was very active in that game during my high school days. But a lot of people during the years left, and you know, they just disappeared, never to be seen again. And when you asked others where they were, we would say, yeah, they started playing Warcraft. That's why they're gone. That's what they're gone now. They are playing Warcraft. So that intrigued me. You know, why would someone get so addicted to a game like that? But oh well. Skip forward 2008, summer, as I said. I just finished my third year in high school. I was 18 years old. I was together with Axie for 3 months, roughly, at that point. And at some point I decided I'm gonna give it a try. I found a pirate server, of course, you know, the non-legitimate server, and I wouldn't want to pay for it, of course. So I went on that, and first thing that was there, it was, of course I didn't know what's going on, but the characters were already boosted to level 70, which was the level cap back then. I didn't know that, but you know, when I was making the character, which was a dwarf and a paladin, basically because I thought he had awesome armor, awesome looking armor, because he already started in tier 6, so as you can imagine, tier 6 paladin gear, it was quite shiny, so I started with that. I spawned in Ironforge, and with all my tier 6, I put it all on. I don't remember what kind of weapon I had, but I think it was some kind of a mace. I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm not sure. And there was a bunch of portals around that all led to mysterious places that I said, you know what, I should go check them out. I don't know what they mean, but I'm gonna go check them out. I clicked on one, and I spawned on this island. By now, of course, from my experience, I know that I spawned the entrance to Magister's Terrace, which is the level 70 heroic dungeon it was. And of course I went into that another portal that was there. That was the entrance to the dungeon. And of course I got wrecked because I was solo. I didn't know what's going on. I got wrecked by these mobs. I didn't know what's going on. You know what, that's stupid. By that point I realized that, you know what, I must be this high level, and if I don't know anything about the game, how can I play on this highest level? So I said, you know what, let's go and let's see if I can actually start from scratch. So I was looking on the internet, and at that point I saw, or maybe I was told, I might have been told by one of my friends on the forum I mentioned before, that you can actually get the 10-day free trial key for actual World of Warcraft, and you can play on the official servers. And I don't know if you could get them on the internets yet back then, might have, but I know that when you bought the game you got a couple of keys for free that you could give to your friends to play for 10 days. And the level cap was level 20 as it is now for the starter players. So I did that. I think that friend gave me the key. I think he actually gave me 2 keys, yes. And I started playing. My first character, I mentioned that before in one of my leveling series, or maybe more than one of my leveling series. My first character was a warlock. Undead warlock. Why? Well, because I thought, Horde, they look awesome. They're evil bastards. I'm gonna play Horde. Screw Alliance. That was my stance already from the start. I don't care for Alliance. I'm playing Horde. So the undead warlock looked the evilest thing I ever seen in a game. I said, you know what? I have to play that. I remember leveling to level 7. I was running around Thiersfall, you know, killing stuff. I think even I did. No, I didn't do a quest for my pet. That must have been later on, because I think you didn't get the pet quest until level 10. So probably didn't, but yeah, I remember getting that to level 7, and then I said, you know what, I experienced quite a lot of this world, you know, I'm an experienced person now, let's go check something else and see other classes. And that's when I first started playing a troll hunter. And that troll hunter really felt great. I felt great playing the hunter. It was awesome when I got my raptor pad, and you know what? I always liked dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were like my thing from very young age. I still remember vividly. I was like 2 or 3 years old. I should not be remembering this. I think I was like 3 years old. I should not definitely be remembering this. That was when Jurassic Park 1 came out, back in the early 90s. And I still remember that I was not allowed to go and see it with my brother and my cousin, who were both older, 4 and 8 years respectively. So they went to watch it, and I remember I stayed with my who I stayed with, that doesn't really matter. I remember staying up late, and I remember seeing them when they got back and telling me of this awesome dinosaurs and everything. I was so jealous, even though I was like 3 years old, a little bastard who really wasn't supposed to be in the movie, watching that. Also, I remember vividly how I then went to see the Jurassic Park 2 and really loved that movie, even though some scenes were quite horrifying for my young eyes. You know what? It was still fine. Anyway, so yes, the Raptor pad. That was the amazing thing that really got me into that, the old hunter thingy. I really enjoyed that. So yes, I got the hunter to level 14, and I remember going to Barrens and going to Mulgore, all these places, and I thought, oh, this world is so huge. I explored so much, but now I'm kind of bored. Let's go see something else. Let's go see the other side. So that's the point when I said, you know what, I'm gonna check the Alliance side. I don't know anything about them. Let's go do it. Now you have to know that I have been playing that during the summer. It was very hot, and I played that. I usually start playing at like 11 in the evening, and I played to like 2 AM every night. So that was like 3 hours, and it was extremely slow, so that took quite a lot of time. So by the time I was deciding to play the Paladin, I think my first key was actually over. So I had to start with the other one, and that's when I started playing the Paladin. It was a human male Paladin. That was horrible. And I remember going through the starting area and then to the Westfall and killing all the mobs there, and you know, kind of got boring after some time. It was like level 14, 15 as well. And that's about the time when I kind of stopped with WoW. Of course, that was summer, and summer meant party. Of course, I was 18 years old, and I stopped, and me and 4 other friends, we went to the seaside where one of my friends had a house. Well, his parents had it, and we went there and we stayed there for like 10 days. I remember being, oh well, I don't remember much, but we were basically wrecked every day. I hooked up with a couple of girls as well, which, you know, I later on told my girlfriend about. The Axie, just, you know, she wasn't too happy about it, but we still stayed after that together for quite a long time. So yeah, that was first. After that, we got home. You know, that was really crazy 10 days. Really crazy 10 days. After that, we got home, and like 5 days later, we went with our whole class from school. We had this same thing for like 5 or 6 days. We went with our whole class on the pretty much the same trip. We went to Spain, and you know, that was pretty much exact same thing that happened during previous 10 days. That's what happened there, and it was crazy wrecked all the time. So I kind of forgot about gaming and games and everything. And that point later on, I went back to school, and you know, well, it wasn't really the thing to play for me. I played a lot of Football Manager back then. I really didn't care that much about WoW, but that was my first steps into it. Later on, I remember reading about WoW in this magazine I was subscribed to. It was a gaming magazine, and I remember, like, in December, reading about the new expansion, which was like Frozen Wasteland and all that kinds of stuff. That really intrigued me because I really do like snow in games. Well, I like snow otherwise as well, but in games, very much as well. So that really intrigued me, but I didn't really have time, you know, there were other things to think about. But later on, that was the end of the March 2009. We are now in the end of the March 2009. And I got this urge to play this game again. For some reason, I don't know why, but I don't remember exactly what happened. But I got the urge to try it out again. I thought, you know what? Look, I am gonna be 19 years old. I never bought anything for myself for birthday, and that, if I bought a game, my first ever game that I would buy, that would be like a great gift for myself. And I'm old enough, I have my own money now, because I've been working, you know, here and there, just over weekends or something. I got some money. Not much, probably more than I have today, which is very sad. Which is extremely sad, yes. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. But first, let's go to the pirate servers, unofficial servers again. So I did this again, and I was thinking, I saw in this trailer there was this cool chick, this Night Elf chick, that turns into some kind of panther. That looks awesome. Now, which class is that? I wasn't quite sure which class is that. I thought I picked the right one, but I picked Shaman. And as you might think, you know, that's not the right class. I knew that shamans can turn into something, but you know, that wasn't really the right class to do. So I started playing as a shaman on this weird realm, and I did that. I played for a bit, and I wasn't happy just because it had the extra experience boost and money boost, and I didn't like that because it was, you know, felt like cheating. I didn't like that. So of course, after that was like 2 days of playtime, I said, you know what, screw this, I don't like it. I'm gonna go and really gonna start playing proper. I'm gonna start playing this game proper. Now my birthday, it's on 6th of April, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy this for my birthday, as I mentioned. And it was, I remember still, 3rd of April 2009. World of War just came out, I think a week ago or something like that. I went and I bought the game. It was amazing. I only bought the vanilla chest because back then there was really a battle chest available here. I don't know if it was available anywhere, but at least it wasn't here. So I only bought the vanilla up to level 60. And I remember having a lot of issues setting up the account because the game came with 1 month of free time. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna play for that 1 month of free time, and then we'll see. If I like it, I'm gonna play for more. If I don't, you know, that's gonna be it. So I couldn't just start playing. I had to set up my proper subscription and everything, even though I had my free time. And that, I thought that's kind of silly but maybe I was just stupid setting everything up. Or maybe it wasn't as streamlined as it is today. I don't quite remember. But of course I didn't have a credit card that would, you know, be okay for that. So one thing was, I was actually talking to Axie. She said that her father, you know, could maybe lend me a card just for that. But then when she learned that it's something on the internet and it's maybe gaming related, she hated me playing games. That went down the drain. And actually got saved by my brother, who actually lent me his card. And I used that. I actually used that for like half a year after that, all the time. It was fun times. It was fun times. But yeah, it was really cool move by my brother. I'm sure if he remembers that, he's not happy, because he always after that hated what that game did to me. Apparently to him, I, you know, wasn't as social and friendly anymore, because all I did was just play World of Warcraft. And you know, some people might say that's not good, but that's what I did. Yeah, so I got into this awesome world. Finally, you know, finally everything is right. And which class I'm gonna play? I actually went online and started researching before I got the game. Which class is popular, good, and everything. So, because I had experience with hunters and paladins, I also, of course, went to check those too. I was definitely sure I'm gonna be playing on Horde side. That's of course the case. I'm never gonna be playing Alliance main. Alliance main, not gonna exist. You know, said it right now. Said it right now. So yeah, I went online and there was a lot of people saying that paladins suck. That they only have those blessings and that's everything they do. Just blast, blast, blast. I don't know if the information I was looking at was outdated or not. I don't remember. Maybe it wasn't even accurate. Who knows? I don't. And there was also some people saying that hunters get all the loot. And that seemed awesome. You know, hunters get all the loot. Sure. Let's do that. Let's do it. So yes, I rolled a hunter. Troll hunter again, because I wanted that awesome raptor pad that I remembered. I still remember getting the game. It was end of the week, so I think it was Friday and I don't know, Friday and I think it was Friday and Saturday that I actually played the game, and maybe a bit on Sunday as well. But I remember Friday and Saturday playing a lot and having a lot of fun with it. I remember that as well. I'm gonna die here, am I not? Yeah, probably. Screw this, guys. Leave me alone. Oh, fuck's sake. Anyway, so yes, I remember playing on Friday. I got home with the game, started playing. I need to do this now. Let's release Spirit. Thank you. So yes, I started playing the game, which was pretty awesome. On those 2 days, I got to level 18. I thought, wow, that's amazing. 2 days played, and I got to level 18. I'm amazing. I'm an amazing player, right? Not quite. But yeah, I was super impressed by the actual game. Really impressed. Really enjoyed it. I remember doing the old Echo Isles, where you actually needed the group to kill Zalazan. Well, maybe I need the group, maybe most of the people wouldn't need it, but I definitely needed it. So I definitely remember doing that. And I got a bunch of friends, added them on friends list, because we did that together, you know. And later on, when I was leveling, doing dungeons and stuff like that, I played with those friends. You know, this was pretty good. It was pretty good. Getting connection right away. I was very social. But then some misfortunes began. First thing was I got Thunderbluff and I got a quest for Ragefire Chasm. Now, I was not aware of this thing called dungeons and what those dungeons did, so I just went in there solo and I got killed by some stupid rock snakes. What the hell's going on? I was like, I don't know, level 13 at the time probably. What the hell's going on? How can I get killed? Of course, a bit later I learned what those snakes did, why the things are the way they are. I got into a group, which of course you had to look for. You couldn't just queue up for, as you can today. I was looking for a group, got a group, got in there, and of course then this message pops up. When you get a gear, this message pops up. Greed or need? I said, you know what, greed? Greed is a bad word. I'm not gonna press greed. That's real bad. I'm not a greedy person. So I always press need. Little did he know that he was doing exactly what he didn't want to do. God damn it. So of course I get called ninja. I thought, wow, these people are calling me ninja. That's awesome. You know, I'm a ninja. Yeah, I like ninjas. Ninjas are cool. Sure, I was happy about it. And of course they called me ninja a couple more times, and you know, there was interactions, and eventually I didn't get kicked. They all just left. I think so. You know what? We actually finished the dungeon. At least we killed the Tharagaman. I don't know what he was. The Hungerer, the guy in the middle, the worm in the middle or something. I don't know. We killed him, so at least there was that. I got some quests done, and later on I learned what the ninja is and all that kinds of stuff, you know, so that's fine. I was questing in Barrens, I remember that as well, and I met this mage with leatherworking. It was a lady mage, troll lady mage with leatherworking for some reason. And we got on together, and I helped her kill all these animals that she could skin and then make armor out of them, which she, you know, just used for leveling her skill. But all the armor she just gave to me because I could use it. You know, back then hunters used leather till level 40, not like today when they start with mail. And so I could use that, and I was very happy. It was, I think it was like black leather or something. I think so. So yeah, those gave you agility and stamina, which I needed, so that was awesome. Another thing I remember was my first Warsong Gulch. I remember queuing for that, which I found up in at the border of Ashenvale. Yeah, that was kind of stressful as well. I just remember getting in there, just running through it, and know what exactly is going on. And there's this night elf with glowing daggers. He just shot me with a bow, so I knew he was a hunter. He just used his bow, shot me once, and I died. I still vividly remember that. It was night elf hunter, male, with glowing daggers, and he just shoots me straight, plop. I'm dead. That was, yeah. I didn't go into Warsong Gulch for a while. Also, I didn't go into a lot of instances for a while, just because of my first couple ninja runs. No, actually only had one ninja run, but after that I didn't really go into there until like level 35 probably, when I started going in again, when I had a guild. Oh yeah, we're getting up there. We're getting up to the guild. But let's wait for a bit. And talk about another thing. My real life kind of started suffering because I was playing this game a bunch, you know. I remember this was like 2 months before the Matura exam. That is very, very important for before you go to university. You know, you get all the points and everything you need from your Matura exam. And you know, of course I should be studying for that. But no, I had my laptop open and I had something written on, like I am studying from my laptop, and in front of that I had a bunch of books and everything, you know, just sprawled all over my table. But, you know, Alt-Tab, and there was Warcraft. So I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm studying here, nothing to see. Of course, I had the music muted and everything, and I was just playing all time long. And when someone was approaching my room, I just closed it up, top. You know, Alt-Tab, yeah, I'm studying here. That's what I did all days long. Of course, I lied to my girlfriend as well, because she never was happy about me playing the game. So I was just, yeah, no, I'm not playing, I'm just here. And I remember, you know, we always called each other in the evening, especially if you couldn't see during the day. Couldn't see each other during the day because we weren't going to the same school. I mean, our schools were like 5 minutes apart, but still. You know, things happen. So we didn't see each other, so we called each other every night and, you know, like talk for an hour. How are you, baby, and everything. Although we were together for a year at that point, still, for some reason we talk a lot. For some reason. Okay, I'm a bit harsh here now. Shouldn't be. But yeah, that kind of stopped. So when she called me, I was playing and I had a phone on my one ear. I was playing. And she was like talking to me. I was like, yeah, babe. She asked me something. I was like, She said, yo, I asked you something. Yeah, of course. Everything I said had like a 3 seconds delay. It was lag, you know, it was just lag. I was very much lagging. Yeah. Oh well, that was fun times, but you know, my Matura exam kinda suffered for it, but not too much. I remember we had like an assignment for a geography class. I was supposed to just do like 3 assignments. I remember I did 1. I copied all of the other, and you know, not just copied like with pen and paper, you know, I put it into the copy machine, copied all of that and just put it there. And the 3rd one I didn't even do. And I still got 18 out of 20 points. So, you know, that was awesome. That was awesome. Even got more than a friend of mine who did all 3 by himself. So, well, I was very friendly with the teacher. She was awesome, and she knew that I know geography quite well. So she didn't really, you know, she wasn't really mad at me. She wasn't. Probably she was, but I don't know. So yeah, that was kind of suffering. Suffering school, suffering girlfriend, everything like that. But you know, I was keep on playing. I had a guild now. I still was probably leveling in the Barrens. I remember this vividly. I think at level 20 you got the aspect of the cheetah, and that made you run faster. When I seen that, I said, oh, that's awesome, run faster. Yeah, I need that on at all times. Of course, back then you couldn't get the normal mount at level 30, I believe. So yeah, I couldn't get it level 20. And I remember doing this Silithid quest in the Southern Barrens. I think it had to be like 25-ish for it, and I was probably under level a bit. I had the running thing on me, aspect of the cheetah, at all times. So I got murdered by those bugs so many times. I remember that I was going in there, killed. Go in there, killed. Maybe I killed 1, I got the eggs, killed. Oh, it was so painful. But later on, I don't know how, I somehow learned that you get dazed if you get struck. I didn't know why I'm getting slowed all the time, and when I got slowed, I got overwhelmed, because when you grab the eggs that you need to dig out with your claws, that you get, you just, you know, get swarmed by like 2 or 3 of those Silithids, and they are quite powerful. No, those were still like vanilla plays, you know. It wasn't cataclysmed yet. So no, that was the thing. Also, I remember in my first guild, I became like a recruiter. Had a rank of recruiter, so I was kind of semi-officer. I was really proud of that. I recruited a bunch of people. That's when I learned that I really enjoy being up top. You know, where the real magic happens in the guild. Even though I wasn't, but still, I really enjoyed that. So I became a recruiter, recruited a lot of people, and that's how I managed to, still remember, got the guildmaster to lend me like 10 gold or 14 gold or something like that I still needed for my mount, for my normal mount. I got it like 34, I think I was level, and I got it. I thought that's the most amazing thing. I was leveling Stranglethorn well at the time when he actually came here to Booty Bay and he gave me the gold. That was amazing. It was an amazing feeling getting that first raptor mount. That was really awesome. After that, soon after that, I got the upgrade to the TBC. So of course, I only had vanilla before, so I upgraded to TBC, and I remember saying in the guild chat, "Hey guys, I upgraded to TBC." And of course, this was the time of Wrath of the Lich King, so everyone said, "You mean downgraded?" I said, "No, it's awesome. I got it." Of course, they all probably thought I was a complete noob or something, which I was. I still remember. If you remember from Zul'Farrak, Gazrila, one of the last bosses, it dropped a mail chest, which I could use after level 40, that had mana per 5 seconds stat. That doesn't exist anymore. It was replaced by spirit and everything like that. But yeah, it was mana per 5 seconds. That had that on was, you know, I was the bestest hunter. Of course, hunters had mana back then, which I think focus is now better. It is, but still, mana was a thing. Was a thing back then. Had it. Had mana per 5. And it was awesome. Also, I remember getting from Uldaman, which was really, I thought it was a really cool place. I got the Balog's bow, which I used up into the TBC. Because I remember when I was doing the Hellfire Ramparts, there was this priest healer that I always asked to come heal for us because he was really good, and we became friends. I remember him saying to me, "Oh, this bow of yours has quite a history behind it." I said, "Yeah, sure, it's cool." And I thought he was talking about it, that it's like an awesome bow in the game that everyone knows. I thought, "Ooh, that's cool having it," but then I figured out it's probably because it was freaking old. You know, should have replaced it long time ago. And I didn't. I probably replaced it with some green or something after that while leveling. I don't remember exactly. Also, when I was in the Hellfire Peninsula, I still had the slow mount because the epic mount, the level 61, it cost like 600 gold, which I didn't have. I didn't know about this thing called auction house. Well, I didn't know about it. I bought some stuff from it, but I didn't know that you can actually just sell everything. So at that point, I started selling basically everything I had on auction house, and at like level 63 I got enough gold, bought the fast raptor mount. I was really happy that I got it. It was amazing. It was amazing, this awesome mount. Of course, I couldn't afford flying later on, but sure, at least I got the epic mount for starters. Now that I was kind of a big fish in my guild, which, well, most of the top people that were level 80 and were raiding together, they left and they formed their own guild that was actually really successful on our realm for like a year even. And they did really good. I don't remember how good they did on the world ranking. I didn't even know about those things before, well, back then. But some people still stayed, and I went and I grabbed, like, there was these two players, a lady and a dude, who had the same names, basically. Like, we're gonna name them Birdie 1 and Birdie 2. And there was another warlock that we became friends while leveling through the TBC areas. And he was a really cool person, so we played a bunch together. So with these three guys, we decided, you know what, we're gonna form our own guild. So that's what I did. I was the GM, they were my officers, and we started just poaching everyone from the other guild. So a ton of people left and started coming to my guild. It was my guild. This guy just teleported up there, like that. So yeah, I was just poaching everyone from that old guild, and they were kind of mad at me, but that's what I did. I remember being level 71 and not playing. I mean, I was playing all the time, but I was level 71 for a week. All I did was I was in either Orgrimmar and just spamming and recruiting everyone. I got a ton of people. Or I was in Borean Tundra and I was farming this fire elementals, because I think it was crystallized fire. That thing sold for a bunch. It was selling for a lot of gold, and I found this awesome farming spot. Just stood there and just farmed these elementals and sell the monies. Sell the crystallized fire, and got a ton of gold, and I was really happy about it. So that took a week, and I really formed that guild of ours. And I said, you know what? It's time I get to level 80 and start doing this thing that's called Heroics, which is apparently awesome. So I started doing that. I remember like doing 1 level per day till I got to level 80, and I was really proud of it. It took me a bit more than 2 months to get from level 1 to 80 back then. I did play, I don't know how long I played, but I played a lot more than I would today, basically, to get the same thing. Yeah, I got to level 80. I was very proud. Our guild was kind of awesome. With how much recruiting I did, we ended up with like 50 level 80s that were on at all times. And this was a small realm. We are like one of the biggest guilds. We became one of the biggest guilds for the top level. And of course we were all a bunch of noobs. We started doing heroics together. I remember my first heroic dungeon was Nexus. Level 80 heroic Nexus, which was supposed to be the easiest one. I went in there, it was awesome. I remember I had 14k HP and 7k mana when I went in there. I'm pretty damn sure it was something like that. So you can imagine that my gear wasn't amazing. Of course that all went up. Okay, maybe I had more than 7k mana, but I think it was like something like that. I don't remember. I remember talking with other people that tank needed like 20 to 25k HP to start tanking, and some protection stat and something like that. It was this whole process because you couldn't just queue up and start doing it. We were all, you know, talking together in guild chat and making groups, and every group I did was with guildies or, you know, with people I knew from the realm. I knew basically every important level 80 on the realm after, I don't know, a month of being a level 80. I knew them all. That's how things went back then. This was like one of the amazing feelings. I was the GM, I was known by everyone, I talked to everyone. It was a really cool feeling. Well, after I got to level 80, I didn't know what to do. I felt like, oh, now I'm level 80, I'm gonna do a couple of these heroics, and then maybe I'm gonna level a new character. I don't know. But then I learned about this thing called base gear, so best in slot. I said, you know what? Let's do that. I got the list from the internet, from this site called Warcraft Hunters Union. It was best in slot gear for the dungeons, basically pre-raid gear. You know, we were in the Ulduar times back then, so there were people raiding Ulduar and doing those bosses, and I was thinking about pre-raid gear through heroics. But that's what I did. Also, I got a bunch of stuff from badges, because you got the badges from, I think you got them from dungeons as well, from completing them, or maybe killing boss, I don't remember. But I got a bunch of badges, bought some badges gear, and got all my best in slot gears from those dungeons, and I really loved that. Really loved doing that. So we had a plan to start raiding, because my other guildies were doing exactly the same. They were doing exactly the same. Of course, not everyone wanted to raid, so we got two groups ready, two 10-man groups, which would then transition in 25 men soon. But 25 men was considered heroic and 10 men normal. You know, that was the difficulties for Naxxramas. We wanted to go to Naxxramas first. Of course, it was the entry place, and well, Sartharian as well, which was easier, but not the, you know, the one without any drakes, basically. So yes, the thing was, this was now start of July, and I went on a vacation for 10 days. So while I went, I told my 3 officers that they should take care of the guild. And you know, the warlock wasn't really that much around anymore, so I had some other players take care of that. But the 2 birdies, birdie 1 and birdie 2, were all in for that. So sure, they said, yeah, we're gonna take care of it. I told everyone we're going, and all was fine. 10 days later, I come back. First, I'm gonna drink a sip of tea because my throat is kind of parched. This is good. 10 days after, I come back. Well, lo and behold, a bunch of my players missing. Birdie 1, birdie 2 left. So what they did when I was gone, they left, formed their own guild, and started poaching my players. I was extremely pissed. I lost a bunch of people that way. A lot of them came back because they were spreading lies. I just quit. Wow, I'm not coming back. Even though I told players that I'm gonna be coming back, you know, I'm just going for a vacation for 10 days. They were like panicking, oh, he's gone, and everything like that. Ah, fucking great. That really pissed me off, you know. That's how people can be and will be and are. I don't know. So yeah. I got a bunch of people left, I got a bunch of people back, and we still got the 2 groups going. And we decided, you know what, let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna do it on Saturday. Now the thing is that, like, on Thursday I see these people, like 9 guildies, looking for a DPS for Sartharian. Said, I wanna see that. I wanna see that. Even though I have a guild run on a Saturday, I want to do it. And I just joined them. Awesome people, much more experienced than I was or my guild is. And I did Sartarian with them, easy mode, and they said, you know, we're going to next now, do you want to go with us? I said, sure. It's not like we have a guild run on Saturday. At this point, people see me in Nax, you know, in guild, and they start asking, yo, what's going on? Why are you next? Aren't we doing it on Saturday? And I was like, you know, I have to do this thing on Saturday, so I won't be able to join you. So I'm just doing it right now, so I'm not gonna miss on a bunch of stuff. And I said, oh, okay, you know, sure, do it. And I did whole Nax with these guys in 2 evenings, I think, like Thursday and Friday. We did the whole Nax. I was really proud. It was awesome. It was really awesome. We would done it in one night, but we were lacking like one extra healer, and then we got a healer from this top guild on the realm, like the best guild on the realm. They were like probably, I don't know, world top 200, so not that amazing, but still good. It was a shaman healer, still remember him. I remember seeing him later on in Cataclysm. Still had his Death's Demise rank title. Still had the, what's the Ulduar legendary mace. He had that. He was like amazing player, really, really good. So yeah, he kind of helped us do all the Nax. Nax was like amazing. I really fell in love with raiding, and that's why I always, you know, later on, if I wasn't raiding, I wasn't playing the game. That was my feeling. That's my feeling still. So, you know, these days I start playing because I see people raiding, you know, new tier comes out, people start raiding, I get the feeling, oh, I need to raid, I need to go and get in there. But then I remember, you know, I can't really raid, I don't have time. But then again, I still start playing and I get bored after a month because, you know, LFR sucks. I don't want to pug because that even sucks harder. And, you know, then I just quit. But back then, everything was new and awesome, and Nax was amazing. After that, you know, my guilds didn't do quite well in Nax, and a couple of weeks later, I left the guild. Gave the guild to a friend of mine who was in the guild, doing great as well. You know, he was my officer. I told him he can you know, keep it for me, because that was my ego. You know, so I was 19 years old, ego, big ego. So I went to that guild that, you know, I did the Nax together, and we started raiding Ulduar. I think we did like, we didn't do hard modes, but we did everything up to Freya. We didn't do Freya, we didn't do Mimeron, we didn't do Vezax, and we didn't do Yogg, and of course we didn't do Algalon. So like, we didn't do 5 bosses. So it was pretty good for, you know, bad realm. Especially pretty good for us doing that in like a week. And we did a bit more next week. I mean, no, we actually did one less previous week and then all that next week. And I thought that was really amazing. At that point, I was reading Warcraft Hunter's Union every day. It was like my Bible. I learned about this thing called hit cap. Yes, I did not know about that. I got hit cap. You know, everything went awesome. And my DPS really was amazing. I was playing Survival Hunter. At that point, the penetration, the marksmanship penetration build wasn't quite viable for me yet. I was playing the Survival, and I really loved Survival. Did amazing damage and everything. But the guild kind of fell apart. And, you know, we were just 10 men. But I was pretty good, so I joined this guild doing heroics. It was 10-man guild, started doing heroics, and I did heroic, a bunch of heroic modes on in Ulduar as well. So it was pretty good. You know, I've been raiding for a month now, or maybe a month and a half, and I was already doing heroic modes in Ulduar. Felt amazing. But at that point, real life came again. I went to university, and for first 2 months, I was living in this apartment, you know, just temporary, with no internet connection. So of course I couldn't play. I had to quit, and that's when my start into heroic modes and everything ended, which was unfortunate because I really loved that. It was really awesome, even though, you know, they were kind of, I don't know, hardcore for me back then. Today I'd probably think that they were kind of bad, but sure. You know, back then they were kind of hardcore. Before everything ended, I still I tried a bunch of bosses in Trial of Crusader in a pug run. I think we killed the beasts. But I'm not sure. But I think we did. So that was pretty cool. Even though I really preferred World War, I thought it was like an amazing raid. But yeah, I was on a break, and I lived with Axis, so of course I couldn't really. Even when we got the internet back, it was like, yeah, you shouldn't really be playing. Even though later on I started playing a lot more and raided a lot more in ICC as well. Those were the days, right? Those were the days. So yeah, that's my newbie story of how I started playing WoW and what a baddie I was. Even though I got into the whole raiding scene and got much better very soon. After that, after I started raiding ICC and everything, it was, you know, I felt it wasn't even a year of my playtime, and I was not playing for at least 3 months of that, or even more. So like in half a year of me playing the game, I felt I learned everything I needed to know about my hunter. I was really good at the hunter back then. I was really doing great. Of course, everyone said it's a noob class. Maybe it is, probably was, but I was a noob as well. But that's when I really learned how to play, and you know, I'm thankful for those days, and I'm really thankful for everyone I met back then, because they helped me a lot. Those are a lot of people that I lost during the years. They don't play anymore. Don't, you know, I transferred from that realm. That's a dead realm. You know, it died in Cataclysm pretty much, even though I played in Cataclysm, still there. So yeah, I don't know what happened to all those people I met during those years. They were awesome, all of them, but you know, that's how the stories of Warcraft work. So I hope you enjoyed my little newbie story. I do hope. If you didn't see, go listen to my previous story. It happens a bit later on. It's a lot more romance and guild drama and everything like that in it. So hopefully you enjoyed the stories, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully with another story. I just need to, you know, find something out. And of course, if you have a good story for me, you can always send me the story. I'm gonna read it up here and, you know, make it special. Of course, just no real names and everything. I'm gonna change everything anyway. So that's gonna be it for now. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and you know, just do your magic. I'll see you next time. Go out.